Alright, Hangout is live. We'll give it about 15 seconds and we'll go. Live, live, live!
Hello, live. How are you?
I think we're good. So I will start us in 5.
Notes look great, Mikela.
3,
Cool, thank you.
2. On this episode of the AIE Podcast,
Welcome to Black Rock Foundry.
AIE's 8th anniversary is coming!
looking for more Nerf orders.
STO wants to give you an anniversary gift.
And we are joined by Theris. Yes, that guy.
All that and more coming up right now.
Okay. Did I lose everybody?
No, I didn't hear. I heard the thing start and then it stopped.
Yeah, me too. Totally heard it start and stop.
That's okay, I'll edit it in. We'll do it live.
Okay!
Alright, so welcome to episode 224 of the podcast celebrating the Aliyah IACT gaming community. This is Tetsumi, and I'm saying whatever Mikala wrote for me. With me as always is Aludra.
Hey, AIE, I think you are awesome.
And right over there we have Mikala.
Hey guys, there are some chai latte cupcakes in the guild kitchen.
Dibs.
This week we are joined by special guest Theris, who is here to talk to us about AIE in the World of Warcraft. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
I even
Definitely.
showered.
Ooh,
what you were saying
it must be a
pre-show.
special occasion.
Totally wasn't.
Alright, we will be talking with Lank shortly, but first, let's cover this week's news.
Whoa! No banter? No what we've been up to? Just all serious business? What the? What?
What the what? Alright, fine. Oh, I guess I can't read notes. That's a problem. Alright, edit point. Here we go. So.
No, leave it. It's brilliant.
No. Aludra, what have you been up to in game?
What I've been up to is okay. So check this out. I have been up to all the things because I found a new game to dig in dirt in. But apparently, okay, so I finally got my Lotro account back, right? Yay, Lotro! And so I'm in there and I'm like, wow, my computer's so great now because it's a wonderful doghouse system that everything's not all brown, which is a real problem I have with that game. Is just everything was this new shade of brown, and that's just not cool. So I'm playing it and I look. I'm like, what are my professions anyway? Because I've got a level 11 character. And first off, my level 11 character happens to be a lore master. And for those of you who know nothing about Lord of the Rings, I managed to zero in without knowing on the pet collecting class.
Well, naturally, you gear towards that just by default.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was the pet collecting class. But yeah, there's all these variations on animal friends you can have and stuff, and so I logged in, and it's been so long, the game's like, hey, you sure you don't want to do the tutorial again, just because it's been like several years. And I'm like, no, I'm cool. And then I'm like, wait, they changed so much, it might have been smarter to re-roll, but I'm not helping that hobbit with his dating life again, just no.
Well, why
It's
not?
Because I've done it 4 times, and it's just not happening again.
So need a date.
Yeah, but she's a pain in the butt who wants him to get rid of his dog, and so he dumps her, and that's brilliant. But seriously, they live 20 feet away, and you are ferrying messages for like 40 minutes to him.
Right.
So anyways, I go and I look at my professions going, what are my professions? I bet I picked something cool, or maybe I didn't, but hey, either way. I picked farmer, which is the equivalent of digging in dirt.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So I'm just like, oh my god, I am so stereotypically Aludra in this game. So, whatever. My name's Aludra. I'm in the game. I'm trying to get in the guild. That's all good. I'm also playing a lot of. Did I just tell you guys the Civ story on the show?
Yes, that you got the game after writing them the note.
Yes, I wrote them a fan letter, and they sent me 2 copies of the game for me and my son, so we've been playing that game, like, for crazy much. Okay, I'm hot modulator. Got it. We haven't been playing that game crazy much, which is super fun. And then I've been shooting things in Borderlands and then raiding, but I'll leave that to you guys because you tell the raid story so much better.
Oh.
Shh, it's a positive story. And yeah, so I've been busy with games and stuff, and it's just been a real blast. You know, blast from the past, blast to the future with Beyond Earth and Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. What about you, Michaela?
Well, raiding was a blast on Thursday. We banged our head against heroic Kargath for an hour and nothing went right. We found new ways to wipe. Really
Yeah, which is really weird for our raid team. We all love each other so much, and we were like, it was a bad night.
It was a bad night. We pulled it together though. We decided, you know what, our head's not in the game. Let's get out of that. And we just went and did regular Kargath and Butcher, much more successful. Yeah. Some match like that. That was the extent of my WoW time because, well, two members of our raid team are very, very pregnant, and I had a baby shower to throw. So
yeah,
I'm
busy with that. I wanted to go so much.
No, we know, but you know that happens. Don't worry about it. So yeah, Alakaz and Leontine. Alakaz is one of our AIE officers. Leontine has been member of AIE forever. They're due in 5 weeks, so we actually threw Miss Aria Rose a baby shower this weekend.
That's the baby, guys.
That's the baby. So that was kind of my week, but yeah, raiding was a blast. Hopefully we're gonna be able to pull together tonight because I think after Thursday we need to have some fun.
Yeah, I think tonight's going to be a much more positive night myself because, you know, we got the bad one out of the way.
Right.
So
we got this. We got this. So, Tet, what have you been doing in-game?
Fishing. No, seriously, for some reason my OCD kicked in and went, so wait a minute, there's 7 achievements plus an 8th one if you go pick up all these enormous fish.
Yeah, I've been doing that too.
So I got it all done.
You got it all done? Cool. I only have 3 left.
Yeah. What I was doing was I'd pick up the fishing daily and it'd say, go get me jawless skulkers. And then I would just go in there, use the jawless skulker bait, and I would fish for 5 minutes. Even if I got more than enough, what I needed for the quest, I would just do that. And generally I'd add like 10 to 15, maybe 20 of the enormous a day. And then I got to a point where I'm like, okay, 4 of these are at 60 plus. I can knock those out. Oh, this one's only at 40 plus, and kept going it. So, yeah, I knocked that out. So now I'm on the quest from Nat before he becomes a follower to, you have to go fish up giant lunkers from each of the zones in why did I forget the expansion name? In Warlords. In the, so you have to go to Nagrand, you have to go to Frostfire, Shadowmoon Valley, and all that, and fish it up. And it takes about 30-35 casts per lunker, and then you get it, and you move on. So that's where I'm at. That's honestly, besides raiding, what I've focused on. Raiding, we had a rough night. We put it behind us. We'll knock out Tectus, Twin Ogron, and Brackenspore tonight, and hopefully get some shots on Korgath.
Fun.
So that's what I've been up to. Lank, what have you been up to in or out of game?
In or out of game, lots of crazy things. Some of the things that I'll go ahead and touch on when I'm talking later on in the show. But some of you might have heard that the big story is that so I have signed on a little dotted line, gave them my monies, and I'm going to be going and Soul, and I'll be going to grad school.
Yay! Grad school! Woo!
That's both.
Everybody do the Kermit Muppet! Yay!
So that is good and bad, which of course will have some major impact on how I play video games in general. So we'll get to that later. That, and I've been losing sleep with the rest of the other guys at the Cap Stable podcast, just doing a bunch of crazy, ridiculous interviews for this other little video game that we play called Eve. But I digress. That's another show. And that, and just some family stuff, and I'll get into that later. So it's been kind of a mixed bag of good, bad, and Lank really needs an awful lot of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to be on last week, but I got a little sick. As you can tell, it's raining cough drops because evidently I've been eating nothing but cough drops for the past couple of weeks. So yeah, but I'm better now, evidently.
Yay, better!
Though I am still like, I was showing them before we started the show my epic cup of tea, which now is never ever empty. Sucking down tea, and I'm like 3 quarts empty. But yeah, when you're busy talking about the news, I think I might be getting a refill.
Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and guess what? I always take a transition thrown right in my lap, so we'll be talking with Lank shortly about what he is bringing to the table for AIE and WoW. But first, let's cover this week's news.
AIE News.
BlackRock, oh wow, I can't speak. BlackRock Foundry Normal and Heroic and the world boss Rumpkmar became available this past week in WoW. Also for BlackRock Foundry, this week on Tuesday, Mythic difficulty will become available. And lead game designer Ian Hazatoskas, I'm so glad how to pronounce that, took to the forums to better explain Blizzard's philosophy on BlackRock Foundry's difficulty tuning. If you've been raiding this week, you probably noticed it's a little harder to progress than Highmaul was at the beginning. According to Watcher, BlackRock Foundry is not meant to make Highmaul immediately obsolete. They still expect you to progress through Highmaul before you can realistically tackle BlackRock Foundry in normal mode. Normal mode Highmaul has an expectation of players coming in with heroic dungeon gear, but BlackRock Foundry is tuned for players in full raid gear, including a few easy bosses. Later bosses are going to be tuned with more player level in mind. In additional WoW news, Blizzard had announced their Q4 2014 earnings call and announced that WoW is still holding stable at 10 million subscribers as of the end of 2014. This is the same as the mid-November announcement that occurred just post the expansion coming out.
Awesome. Glad to know that they're hanging in with the numbers. Sorry to hear it's 10,000. Jeez.
10,000?
I know. Wow. I think Rift has more players than that. Okay, so
numbers are hard.
They are hard. They're so difficult. In case you haven't noticed, Love is in the Air is going on right now through February 16th. This is WoW's annual Valentine's Day event, and it's in full swing. The Love is in the Air event offers a variety of rewards, including 2 mounts, 2 pets, including a new one this year, and many achievements, one of which is totally impossible unless you have a bunch of really cool friends who want to stand around and shoot lasers at you for a while. Icy Veins has a great guide on how to get you through everything you need to complete the event. So does Wowhead. But we have the Icy Veins one linked in the show notes, so that one gets top billing. Alright, so also, if you are a Craft Fair staff member or are interested in the Craft Fair at all, there's a meeting going on at February 13th at 10 p.m. server. And if you would like to help out, Heather, you can't edit while I'm reading it out loud. Your name pops up, it blocks the whole sentence above it. And if you would like to help out with the craft fair, whisper the mistress of the fair, Cyrene, in-game, or DM her on the forums. Forums, folks, go.
Use the forums.
Totally.
AIE's official 8th anniversary is February 15th, and plans are underway to celebrate this momentous occasion. Not only are we planning to have some huge guests for the show next Sunday, but the AIE officers and guildies are busy planning events for the celebration. Nevermore has a meet and greet planned for Saturday the 14th from noon to 2 server. Come celebrate AIE's anniversary in Mumble and learn more about the guild and your fellow guildies. Sparrow is leading a PvP event. The plan is to assault Acheron with the might, fury, and humor seldom seen on the field of battle. A raid group a raid group will be started at 2 p.m. server. Other groups can be started as needed, and we will run the road, the events, and any rares that pop up in Ashran. This is the perfect opportunity to jump in and get your blade bloodied for the first time. If you're a longtime pro, this will be a great time for you as well. You can share your knowledge and expertise. Please remember to show your AIE pride and sport a guild tabard. Feel free to drop guild banners as we go. And remember, this is an all-ages event. Please keep mumble to all ages appropriate. We will be representing our guild, so play nice with the other Horde kids in the playground. No need to sign up for the fun PvP event. Just join AIE LFG, looking for group, and send a message the day of the event. Hop into Mumble and ask for an invite or whisper Sparrowhawk during the event. There is a forum post indicating what else we are doing during the event. Use the forums. If you have an idea for the event, any AIE member can start one as long as there is no in-game money involved, in or out of game, and there's no need to ask for approval from the officers.
That's right. You don't need the officer's approval.
Well, maybe a little, but not to plan events. And in EVE, Operation Frostbite is a go. I repeat, Operation Frostbite is a go. EVE is currently in the middle of a huge mining operation. They had one last weekend and have plans for another one on Valentine's weekend, February 14th and 15th.
Woohoo! Though the 14th might be busy, so they may want to rethink that just a little bit.
That's okay. They can work on this. They can put that time on their spreadsheet for their mining operation. They're fine.
Yeah.
Or they can set it up to go, and then maybe go
I totally
out.
imagine everybody has to clock in during these events and stuff.
Oh God! Oh! Excuse me, sir. Have you brought in your punch-in time clock?
Yeah, Lank, we didn't get your time card this week. We need to know that you helped enough with the
Can't pay
event.
your ISK.
Oh, you get paid in EVE? I'm doing something wrong.
You don't get paid anywhere. All right, so
Lank.
on to a different galaxy that's much, much further away. Nerf Herders is a public side for a 16-man forming for some weekly shenanigans, the best word ever, at 8 server on Thursdays in SWOTOR. If you are interested, hit up Growly Didge up on the forums. Okay. And speaking of SWOTOR, did you know that Max and Sema have Sema. Either way, have their own podcast. In episode 76 of the Escape podcast, Sema, Max, and Astromech Epic 76 talk about daily missions on Rishi and Yavin, the rewards, and how they compare to the other current dailies in the game. I wish I could find my glasses. They also covered the news for this week in SWOTOR in general, and of course in AIE, because they're wonderful people and love the guild. Listen to the Escape podcast. We have links.
And for the Secret World, a new state of the game for February is out. News includes a revamp, so the game is not as overwhelming for new players, a Valentine's Day event, changes to fast travel, and news about issue number 11, which will have us running up the floors of the Orochi Tower.
And Star Trek Online is celebrating its 5th anniversary, and Rado was kind enough to post a fabulous infographic including voice actors, how many tribbles we've actually had trouble with, which is, by the way, 6 million, fleets in service, and all the game's milestones since 2010. And to mark the occasion, additionally, the game has added 2 additions to the anniversary content that will run from January 29th to February 26th of 2015. Be sure to log in and grab the goodies they'll be giving away for the anniversary, and remember, that's logging in daily if you can.
So log in all the days, guys. All the days! Okay, yeah, it ended differently on the notes, and so I didn't know it was my cue. All right, so do you want to jump into Final Fantasy, the game where you can dye mounts, get cool outfits, and be a rainbow magical kitty girl? Of course you do. And don't forget, there is Refer a Friend. Yes, recruit your friends, refer the friends, doesn't matter, we got links. So, head on over, recruit your friends, be a magical kitty girl, because they are the best. And finally, the Imperium Ludi has a lot of great info on the forums, including a list of battle tags for Heroes of the Storm closed beta, information on where to find AIE and PlanetSide 2, which you want to do since our friends are wandering that way starting Monday, February 9th, and considering leaving on the 15th. I mean, did the Nomads ever really leave a game?
No, that's it. You know, I think they have a lot of involvement. They definitely are going to stick around a little longer than that, but that's the ongoing theory right now.
Yeah. So PlanetSide 2 is a first-person shooter, and looks like it said free to play a second ago. You guys really can't edit while I'm reading. Your names block everything.
That's half the fun.
All right. So, there we go.
All right, and with that, let's get back to Lank. So, Lank, what is going on with AIE in WoW?
So many things that unfortunately have been kind of in and out, so I only have a incomplete picture. But the big story is that we're getting to our 8th year anniversary. 8 years is a long time for any game. 8 years is a long time for any gaming community. Put them together, and it's like, wow. So I have no idea what's going to happen, unfortunately. I know that there's been a couple of events planned. I will go do my research and find out more exactly and start tweeting the world about what's going on. But I could usually fall into an old whereas it was story, but I'm not going to necessarily go there. But I will tell you what I've been doing kind of in WoW and in and out of WoW and what the future of WoW is going to look like, because I have a pre-announcement of announcement. So
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you all know that besides WoW, and I sometimes eat and breathe WoW, I had been playing an awful lot at the ending of the year and a little bit in the beginning of the year, but of course I stopped for various reasons. One of them being is that we've had a couple of strings of like family health emergencies that we've been taking care of. My wife got a little bit of a shot across the bow that had us really, really worried. So there went all my WoW time with that. Luckily, most of this test has come out negative, which is great. We're just waiting on one more, and it looks all good. So, because we were really worried there. Besides that, there's also like some issues with like my grandma getting sick as well, but now she's better as well. The other really big news is that, well, as I mentioned before, I'm in grad school. This is going to greatly affect how much time I got to play any game. So we're going to start laying down start laying out some of the foundations to make sure that WoW, and at least AIE and WoW, is well taken care of in the future, in case the opportunity or the need comes up for me to altogether kind of take a back seat or step back from WoW, because I can't the WoW down that the guild down that way. So want to make sure certain things are in order to make sure that everything is as seamless and as well oiled as possible.
Wow.
So that is the reality. Welcome to real life. Real life always takes precedence over everything. So
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, but
Or fortunately.
But it's not like I'm going to go anywhere. I mean, I've been with you guys for so long and for such a long time. It's almost impossible to me to actually extricate myself from AIE, because so much of that I am and what I've done and what I've been doing recently online has so much, is basically based because of AIE. One of the reasons why I'm actually going into grad school is because, well, the experience I've had in the guild and just generally what I generally like to do online with people. So there is that. But in the meantime, in real world, I've been playing real life WoW Evangelist. And I've been going to a lot of, in my little spare time I do have, been going to a lot of WoW and gaming meetups around the neighborhood, in the area. And I've had an interesting thing. You are all aware of the documentary that came out after BlizzCon, which I had.
During BlizzCon.
Well, during BlizzCon. and the small part I had in that. So this has had an interesting effect with me professionally, in that, as many of you may not know, I work in an industry where I work with currently working with moderate to severely autistic children, and the staff there are into a lot into little video games and trying to promote and foster the development and growth of these individual children who may not have quite the tools they require to properly integrate themselves in society. So shortly, actually a few hours after BlizzCon, I was at home and I got several phone calls from people at work, and for a good dozen of these phone calls were saying, "Dude, why are you on my TV?" I'm like, "What? Why? I am watching this live stream. Why are you on my giant 70-inch plasma?
Can they not read the bottom? It's a giant 70-inch TV. It should have said on the bottom why you were on the TV.
Guild leader of Aaliyah Octa
yes.
I guess
exactly.
And they're like, "That's your guild?" "Yeah, that's my guild." "You know Scott Johnson?" Goes, "Yes." "You're an AIE?" Goes, "Yes."
Dude, kind of AIE. Don't mean to brag,
so I had mentioned it early on when I first started working there that I kind of sort of played this silly game named WoW. Oh, okay, no big deal. And when I showed up to work a week later, I had everyone at work lined up in front and applauding.
Oh my gosh.
Weirdest thing ever. I'm like looking around going, what the hell's going on?
Oh, you loved it.
Well,
attention.
So I then spent almost now a month and a half talking with various people at work, and actually children who actually attend the school, who actually do play WoW, and just kind of talking about their experiences, what WoW has meant to them, how it's been helping them integrate themselves even though it's an online environment, with a community of people that they generally wouldn't necessarily be able to communicate with because of their whatever their issue. So that got me kind of interested in going around and seeing and talking to other people. And I've been to board game conventions. I've been to a couple of meetup WoW convention meetups, and just talking about people and just sharing experiences, and how much of a transformative effect, not necessarily the game, but the communities that grow up around the game. And it's one thing that I will always jump on top of the rooftops and crow. It's not necessarily the game itself, but it's the community that grows around it. And I do a lot of the stuff that I do. I won't necessarily say that it's not totally altruistic. I would like to think so, not because it is nice to get the accolades. But a lot of the folks, a lot of your officers, a lot of the people who make AIE happen, whether it be in WoW, whether it be in Lotro, whether it be in EVE, whether it be on the forums or Nomads, or by extension, the Tadpool and the Extra Life and Frog Pants. It's all about the fact that we all have a place to hang out and talk shop, talk games. You're all aware of the recent kerfuffle that came out because of Gamergate, and I'm not going to necessarily drag that particular term through here because we have better things to do.
It's not worth our time.
No. Yeah, no, but it speaks to the transformative nature of video games, and that the fact that first of all, the word gamer is gender neutral. There is no male, there is no female. It's gamer, video games. It is the common bond, the common experiences, the relationships that we build just because of these silly little video games. And many people would say, "Oh, they poo-poo it. They just it's just a video game. It's just silly. It's not really, it has no consequence." You can say the same thing about grabbing your morning cup of coffee. It becomes a communal experience.
Right. Very much so. It's part of your ritual. It's part of who you are.
It becomes who you are.
Yeah.
It's another facet of what makes you you.
Exactly.
And it's and people need to realize this. I got Lank up to level 100, and I've got Mariana, who's actually my original main, who's a arms warrior, up to 97, and I started doing I'm not going to give out too many spoilers because yes, I know it's been a while, and yeah, I go spoilers, but I'm not going to be that spoilery. I was running around through the Grand, and I got to the Garage Thrall cinematics thing, and I cried. I sat there and cried like an idiot for 10 minutes. And then I was just happened to have another guildie in channel, and I explained to that what happened. And he goes, "You cried too?"
Right.
And they're like, "Oh my God!" I mean, it's like I was all goosebump. I'm goosebumpy now.
Yeah.
Look at it, I'm goosebumpy now. And it was
Because
able
we're emotionally invested. People are like, "Oh, it's just a game." Yeah, it is just a game, but at a certain point, we've been playing this for years. We're emotionally invested in this conflict. We have had a lot to do with it, and so yeah, we're going to get an emotional response.
I mean, it's the thing of like we're not passengers on a train.
Mm-hmm.
We're part of the story, and I have to give kudos for Blizzard because they have finally been able to do something that no one else has been done. We are, like you mentioned, Aludra, so invested in this game emotionally. We are now part of that story.
Yeah.
The way garrisons work. I have, the when you're in your garrison and you get invaded for the first time, and you're running around trying to force them out, and I lost an NPC. And it's just an NPC who was running around. He was a guy.
Nameless,
nameless MCC. I sat there and got so enraged.
What just happened?
I'm like, I am getting super upset, pissed off, because you killed one of my guys, and he's an NPC.
Mine are pandas now, so I'm even more
non-player character. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, what game does that?
You know, my big moment happened last expansion was the worst one for me when the Jade Statue Dragon. I was upset
Lord.
for like the rest of the day. I was so upset.
It's like, Blizzard, what did you do to me?
Exactly.
but you see-
Because we're such a big part of the story now. We know these characters' lives. They're kind of our friends now.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you see them do something so terrible, and you feel betrayed. And what happened with that Jade statue, I was so upset. I was like, we can't be doing this!
Right. It's like we're not really bad guys, but right now it kind of feels
No,
like
I'm
a bad guy.
like,
It's like we've
I'm
done
gonna
some.
log off and walk away. I'm like, I'm a dick.
It's like we have done some.
Sorry.
No, we have done some abominable things, but we've done some great things, and the whole thing, the story in the game has been transformed, and it has become part of that communal spirit with the rest of the folks that we can sit there and talk about it. Another example, Frostfire Ridge. No big deal. It's running around in the sand. In the snow and ice, and
Oh man.
you'll know when I say this. There's a segment of music. The piano. It sits there and resonates, and it's just very simple. Dun dun dun. I sat there with my hands to my mouth, going, "Damn it, Russell, you've done it again."
Right?
Yeah,
I
and then
have
they
not-
freaking name something freaking frost. You get caught up in the frost fire, and then I have that old commercial jingle stuck in my head, which really upset me because Russell's music's so much better than that stupid game jingle.
And you see, like you're like on the verge of tears right now, right, Olivia? You're like all like super emotional over
Yeah,
oh,
this is upsetting. Why are we talking about this?
But you see how we've integrated ourselves into this, and to me, this is how what I do for the guild, and what I do in the future, I do for the guild as well. It's what's best for the entire community.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm getting all verklempt again.
Okay.
Why do you do this to me, people? Why?
Oh, I know.
Well,
the writing is just so fantastic. I mean,
So-
I've been upset by cutscenes. I've been cheering for cutscenes. The
Been
one
really,
over-
really torqued by cutscenes.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to.
mean the ending of Shatrath.
Mhm.
That whole fight on the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Yes. Yes.
Especially
Oh
if
my
you have
gosh.
that paladin
like,
character.
yeah.
She
Oh
used
my
the
God.
wings.
Oh my God, the first time, when you're back into the area that was Manitoums. They made up Manitoums, and it made
Akendoon area.
Akendoon. I'm sitting there as a paladin, killing other paladins.
Right.
First time I ran that, I'm like, what? Oh, what am I doing?
What did I do?
I am killing my own. Sure, I'm a blood elf, but these are other paladins. Why am I getting so emotionally worked up on killing? It's just like, kudos, Blizzard. Kudos.
But that's why this game's been around 10 years where other games haven't, because not only is it so immersive, but you're so your character, you know them so well in and out that something like this is going to affect you. Not to mention, the community that we have, but just the community that the game that we're lucky enough to have.
So I made myself a promise, and I'm going to make it so. Is that, I'm going to start raiding again, but very, very casually, and I'm reaching deep into my way back bag, and I'm going to attempt to resurrect one of the greatest, most epic raid teams that has ever inflicted its brand of madness to AIE. So yes, I'm going to resurrect Drunk with Power. And it will be
I don't even know what you're doing, over your weekends and stuff. I mean, I've seen you Guildmaster. We all know that's a good description.
So DWP will be coming back. This is where a few times where I actually will take advantage of my GM position to pimp a particular raid team, but this is going to be super, super casual raiding team. 150% more Gwen Stefani. If you were in there, you understand why. No dubstep. No dubstep. No. And the reason this is so emotional for me is that this was my first real introduction to raiding in WoW, and it was the DWP 10-man when we were doing I'm blanking right now. We were doing the place where what's his face lived, the greatest 10-man raiding entrance in all of AIE, WoW history, which I've completely totally forgot now.
That's great.
Burning Crusade, introductory raid. Karazhan. And
that is a great raid.
That is a wonderful raid. The music there is badass too.
Oh my god, yes.
So that whole environment was great. The music was great, but the people. That's where I met Tark. It's where I met Molson. It was where I met Sigurd. I used to raid with Parlet there. Really, really good times. And I was been casually mentioning this in Mumble and in the game, and I've been getting pings from a lot of these gentlemen who I haven't necessarily heard from them in years, saying you're starting DWP back again. He goes, yes, time and place, my friend. I'm there. So I haven't talked to these guys.
You're getting the band back together.
I know, I'm getting the band back together. So it's like that was a great, great, great feeling.
Oh, I'm sure it was. There's nothing like, getting into a raid with your friends. I mean, that's what I got on my raid team right now. I raid with just friends, and it is the best experience.
That is
Most
probably
nights,
the way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's how raids should be.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
So between that and now the guild anniversary coming along, because we can sit here and talk about the I Eat Babies moment and the first great guild sundering and then reforming and stuff like that. Sitting around sharing the stories amongst ourselves, but also for the newer members of the guild who don't necessarily know this history. This is a great time for them to sit there and kind of actually sit there and reflect of how well storied AIE is as a community. Because I remember the time when we were the young whippersnapper and everyone blamed the ills of the game and the server on us.
Right.
And now we're the old man in the server.
Yeah, and also, a lot of communities have come about since we're formed, and we're kind of one of the models for that type of gaming community, not just in WoW, but
And how many, how many other games, both on that's directly associated with us, or groups have spun out from us who are now have their own very large communities.
Which is
really,
wonderful.
Really cool. People also says, "Aren't you like jealous or upset?" It's like, what are you talking about? The model works.
Why would you be?
The model works. People are just seeing the best from us and transferring it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And people we're gamers. We want to game with friends. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
So there's that aspect. The other aspect is just so you know, I'll be attempting to plan another Southern California AIE meetup, probably in late March, early April. So I want to see if I can really get a lot of people to show up. So I'll be waving the flag, letting anyone know, hey, come over, come talk, whether it be in WoW or this game or that game. Heck, it can be Tiddlywinks. Come and join us and
we have
talk.
a Tiddlywinks guild?
Give it a moment. Give it time,
awesome.
and we probably will.
Okay, then.
So the other thing that I want to touch upon is just, in the last couple of years, there's been a lot of kind of like, hand-wringing and kind of like downtrodden about WoW and it being old and no one playing it, and it's where all the casuals go, or it's going to die. WoW is dying. And
WoW's not dying. The numbers are still there, 10,000 strong.
And that's
10
what I was
million.
saying. 10 million strong. So,
Mickey does numbers.
It's the fact that WoW continues to be, and for at least the midterm, is the preeminent MMO on the market. And it's 10 years now. It ain't going nowhere. There's only one other game, or a few other games that have been around as long, but don't have the same popularity. And there was like I said, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's the end of WoW. It's going to go away," and it comes roaring right
back.
And it's great. Like I said, I've already mentioned it before, but being able to see not one or two, but tens and 20s and hundreds of people that I used to play with and know of and used to interact on a regular basis, when I'm able to actually in game sit there and talking to them. There's been times like the last time I played was like January 5th or 6th. I sat there in my garrison fielding whisper after whisper after whisper from someone who I hadn't talked to in months or years. And that was a great feeling. And someone said, "Oh, are you going to go run an instance and go run a heroic?" Because I'm now, trying to gear through the heroics to get into raiding. And it's like, I just blew 3 hours talking to people that I haven't talked to in years.
That's not blowing 3 hours, dude.
Well, they see it as blowing 3 hours. I see it as like getting reacquainted with all my
coming
friends.
Home.
Yeah.
It's coming home.
So yeah, so that's been great, and also talking to a few of them on Mumble is great. Though there's a lot of them are still trying to figure out the Mumble thing because they're still thinking, "Hey, what happened to Vent?" I'm like,
Right.
"Oh, dude,
Whoa.
Vent's gone." It's like it hasn't been around for like almost a year.
A while. Right.
Yeah. So
And just since you bring it up, Link, there's Ashayo put together a really good tutorial up on our wiki with screenshots and everything, and he just added a couple adjustments to it for people that were getting the like invalid or bad certificate and what that actually means. So
Awesome.
if you are having trouble with Mumble, please go to the wiki and look up the Mumble tutorial. It's really well done and will help solve a lot of the problems.
absolutely. So now we get to the big thing I've been kind of dancing around with. So I'm going to grad school. So what does this mean for WoW and Lang?
Yes. What does this mean? We are all very curious.
So, not to dump more stuff onto them, but I'm going to be transferring even more responsibility onto Ash and Tetsumi.
That's two great guys to do that to, though.
I know, I love them so
all
much.
things aside, my beloved co-host, he has a good head on his shoulders. And, Ash, hey,
Yeah.
what can he do?
So I'll still be affected, like mentioned, and we already kind of started this late last year about transferring and kind of delegating more of the stuff that I do. So that means it's just gonna be a little bit more. There'll be. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Does this mean that Tet's gonna get a raise?
He will get a 100% raise of nothing.
Yes. more in-game dresses, because that is 100% of 0 is, well, let me carry the one. 0.
0. So there'll be some further
You
changes.
say you're bad with numbers.
Yeah, there'll be some further changes, and we'll be communicating those as they come along. We want to make sure that the fantastic guild experience that you've been accustomed to and grown, very protective of, stays the way it is. And to much to Eluda's annoyance, more EVE Online. Kidding, just kidding.
I don't care. It's your time, not mine.
Sorry, not sorry.
If you enjoy spreadsheets that much.
Yeah.
So no, and it's like
it's a game where you literally clock in, guys. Seriously, it's
and actually the guys over there, I kid, Hoots and the guys there have been doing a great job, and even I've been getting the whispers from them going, "Come back, please, come back." It's like, sorry, dude, I'm filling out my FAFSA. I'm writing like a 3,000 word personal statement to go process to these people.
Wow.
It's like I've been studying for like GRE. That's what I've been doing. I'm still logging in and Mumble and talking to a lot of folks, but I've been kind of busy with other stuff and researching. So I'm not really going away. It's like I'm going away, but not really going away.
Right.
I guess
on the internet, can you ever really be away?
No. Well,
No.
Not with the advent of smartphones.
No, because Blizzard still hasn't created the invisible mode for battle.net chat. Get on that. Blizzard.
Oh, that would be amazing.
So no, not to pimp a particular technology, but so to kind of let people peek into the behind the curtain, as the AIE, the officers have been adopting a new technology, well, newish, named Slack, and we've been using that a lot for like back channel behind the scenes communication, not as a replacement to our internal officer forums, but as a way to more quickly respond to the needs of the different games and what's going on. And between Slack and the conversations going on there and on Jabber, my phone can't make it past 10:30 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
It's like the alarm goes off at 5:30 at my house, and my wife walks over to where I have my phone, grabs my phone, walks it over, dumps it next to me. Make it stop buzzing. Make it stop buzzing. Make it stop buzzing. I put it in my pocket, and it's all nice and warm in there because it never, ever shuts off.
Right.
Hey, Lank, you need one of these. It's called the
I
Dockery.
know. What I need to do is have like a plug to follow me around. I need like a battery backpack to plug in my phone and
Dude, they're
my
only
tablet.
like 3 inches big for a charger.
That's what it is.
No, you don't understand, Aludra. Even with one of those, I barely make it past noon.
You have a
3
problem.
charges in it.
I know. It's just like, oh my God. It's like I have one of those plans where I got thousands and thousands of minutes and like 3 gigabytes of data. I'll tell you right now, I make no phone calls now, none at all. It's like total minutes used is like 10, but I burn through my
It's all
data
on your
usage.
Data plan.
I burn through my data plan in a week, and it's like
Bad.
I need Wi-Fi. I need Wi-Fi. I need Wi-Fi.
Right.
I need Wi-Fi. It's like my wife goes, "You never truly are away from the guild, are you?" Nope.
Nope.
It's part of me. It's like it's as close to me as my left arm. It's just wherever I go, it's there.
10-minute warning.
See, and there I go, blabbering off and like bringing it to the end of the time. Jeez, you think I learned my lesson now? Like be succinct and to the point, but no,
That's why, Lank, we love you so much. But that's why you're invited on like every 6 months. Because if not, it'd be a 2-hour podcast. Because Lank showed up, because Lank came on.
Oh my God, it's like I've become this weird encyclopedic like. It's funny because what started off as a casual hobby video game is becomes so a part of me to the point where, for my spare time, I'm researching like gaming financials. Mm-hmm. You'll never get me off of Forbes Gaming, Polygon, whatever other gaming thing that like covers the industry. I'm reading about it. Even academic papers, I'm reading about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading right now about how incredibly cohesive and therapeutic online communities have become, and it's a big deal in where I study, and that the fact
field.
that a lot of psychologists and sociologists don't see what's called CMC, computer-mediated communities, as a valid replacement for real-life communities. And I sit there and I'm like whipping out my hand saying, you are so freaking wrong.
Right.
You don't understand it. You don't get it.
I think, well, everybody, all of us here have experienced life-changing friendships because of this community. And sometimes it's people that you've never seen, or you maybe spend a weekend with a year.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's people that you've got to know through game that end up becoming part of your personal inner circle. You know, we've had friends that have moved here because we knew them through game. We've had friends that we met that are local because of game. And it is a community. That's the best word for it. It's virtual, but it's not.
No,
because these are our people. This is our tribe.
Yeah, it's there's a common term, and I'll borrow a line from a fellow by the name of Alex Jean Turco, also known as the Matani from Eve, where he goes, "I do what I do, and I will sacrifice blood and bone for my space tribe." And I found myself doing very much the same, sacrificing peace of mind and sanity for my video game tribe.
Piece of your insanity or sanity?
Both.
Right.
So, but.
All right. I was going to say, was there anything else you wanted to finish up with?
I am good for now. If I'll think of something, I'll let you know.
Okay. And I think that's our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Lank. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. We love having you on.
Anytime, you
Always
guys.
awesome to have you on,
Anytime.
boss. As much as we give you a bad time, really, it's always awesome to have you here.
You know I wouldn't do this if I didn't love it. And you know that I love it.
Very much so. So where can people find you and your inanities and insanities and all of the wonderfulness that is Lanktheris?
So, primary way to do it is through Twitter at Lanktheris. You can find me and the rest of these space psychopaths in AIU and Eve at capstable.net, and various other places on the internet. Even on if you're a frequent user of Flipboard, you'll see me that I kind of register a lot of the topics and stories that I'm reading on Flipboard. So if you want to go ahead and follow me there, you can do a search for Lanktheris there, or just send me a DM or a hey, look at me on Twitter, and I'll send you an invite. So you got to kind of see what I'm kind of reading about, and you get the general idea of where the madness is leading.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, if you have a question or a comment about our show, you guys can email us at at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can follow us at Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. The fabulous Aludra is at Aludra_AIE. Tetsemi is at Ivory Tiger, and I am at Cyberwave. We record live with video every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us at our website, theaiepodcast.com. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com.
And now it's time to play all the great AIE member segments we have received this week, including Ask Ms. Mulgra, Epic Diapers, Overly Dramatic News, and Ask a Magus. I was totally... I had that. I don't know. I just stumbled and kept at the finish line.
Podcast segments are hard. Next week, we'll be talking to some very special guests for AIE's 8th anniversary. So until then, AIE, this is Tetsemi.
This is Aludra.
This is Makala. And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay, Kermit dance.
Yay! I love Kermit dances.
There you go.
I always like the
And
Snoopy
I think
dance. The
we
whole.
kind of have to go with Sybil's show title. Wow, 10,000 strong can't be wrong.
That's awesome.
I'm about to be as red as my lipstick and my t-shirt.
That's awesome. Totally wins.
So, That's great. So, a funny story. I was talking to this one podcaster online, and
Is this when we went
Do you want
to
me
live?
Stop it.
oh,
Yeah.
we're still live.
Hang on. All right, we're gonna stop it.
Bye, guys.